What up, everybody? I'm going to talk about some video games. I know a certain individual has a problem with me doing that, which is very ironic and hypocritical since he tells people to get a hobby and stop talking shit about people. Yet the moment we try to do that, he bitches about that as well. So, yeah. But it is what it is on that, so yeah. But nonetheless, though, without further ado, I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to talk about Crimson Desert. I ain't watched hardly any footage of the game. I've really just gone by screenshots and stuff like that. Well, I've also gone by reviews and whatnot. And I'm also seeing the fact that the game is pretty much selling out as soon as it's back in stock, you know. Like, it may wind up being a situation where if I want it bad enough, I may have to pay scalper price in order to get it, or something close to scalper price. So yeah, definitely higher than the base asking price when it's all said and done, if I want to get it sooner rather than later. So, yeah. Which, I'm going to be honest, I really do want to get it sooner rather than later. Based on the way this game has been built up and hyped up and everything, based on all the reviews and everything, and how long it's already been confirmed that it will take to beat this game, and how much content there is to it and everything, it basically sounds like it's the best game we've had. It basically sounds like it's going to be bigger and better than what Skyrim was when Skyrim was first launched back when it was on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. You know, or it sounds like it's going to be the next best thing since Breath of the Wild or The Witcher 3. So, yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to getting a copy of it. You know, at first I had heard rumors that it was going to be an online-only type of game, even though it's a heavily focused single-player game. You know, but the rumors was that you're still going to have to be signed in on the internet 24/7 in order to be able to play the game. Didn't have to have no gold membership or Xbox membership or whatever they call their membership plan, but you know, you don't have to have any of that, but you still had to have a 24/7 internet connection, according to the rumors. Well, luckily, fortunately, those rumors turned out to be false. You know, nothing but glorified rumors and whatnot. So, yeah. People who actually got the game played it, and if they have already confirmed that, no, you do not have to have the internet connection. You do have to get it to get the day one patch and have certain content installed because of it not all being able to fit on the disc. Which I don't know why in the world they didn't go ahead and put on 2 different discs if it was going to be like that, but whatever. But nonetheless, though, at the end of the day, yeah, it's already been confirmed that all you gotta do is just have the internet just for that. And once you've done that, you're good to go. You know, if you're playing it and the internet goes down, you're still good to go. So, yeah. But nonetheless, though, see, I'm really glad that turned out to be just a glorified rumor of having to be connected to the internet 24/7 in order to play that game. But I tell you what, no, I learned some even better news today. And yes, this is going to be taking a jab at the LGBTQ community, or at least the toxic side of that community. But you already got a game reviewer trying to give it a 0 out of 10 and everything. All because the game doesn't represent the LGBTQ stuff, or the trans stuff and things like that. Basically, since it didn't go woke, they're going to hate on it. I know, very petty, very immature, and only the left would whine and bitch about something so frivolous and whatnot. I mean, let's just keep it real. And yes, I know that there are some extremists on the right side too that would whine and bitch if it was woke. You know, I've seen a lot of people bitching about Dragon Age of Veilguard being woke, or Cyberpunk being woke, or whatever. Didn't stop me from getting those games and enjoying them, but still, you know. But it is what it is. But no, when I saw that post, I said, now I want the game even more. As a matter of fact, I'm even willing to pay scalper price at this point. Which, I'm going to be honest, I'll probably wind up doing that anyway. I mean, I was kind of joking with that comment I made on that post, but I mean, looking back on it, yes, I probably will end up having to pay scalper price, depending on how high the scalper price is. And when I say scalper price, I'm just saying higher than what the original asking price would be if you could find it at a store or whatever. So, yeah. But, so yeah, that's where I stand on that. You know. But, I was looking at the prices of it. And of course, you know, the base $70 copy, which is the one that's actually priced where it's supposed to be and everything, it's constantly, temporarily out of stock. Of course, I'm looking on Amazon.com for it, but still. You know, nonetheless, though, can't find it because of that. You know, the only way I'm going to be able to get a copy of it, unless, of course, by the time I get paid, they finally have more of the $70 copies back in stock, then I'll end up having to settle for one of the higher priced ones. So, it is what it is on that. But anyway, though, because the next price up was like, I think, like $71, $72, something like that. You know, only $1 more than what it's going to cost, what it would cost to get the, you know, previous edition. It's always out of stock for some reason. I mean, it's the same game, the same content and everything, so, yeah. Then the next one up, I think, was like $70 plus like $3 or $4 in shipping and handling. And then the other one was like $75 free shipping. Now, the other one is well over $100. Now, I'm sorry, as much as I'm looking forward to getting that game, as much as I really want to play it, I don't think I'll be able to bring myself to pay over $100 for it. Now, I could bring myself to pay around $75, well, more after, you know, taxes. But still, I have no problem, you know, getting something like paying that much to get that. I mean, my goodness, I paid the full $80 asking tag for Mario Kart World. Well, almost $90 after taxes were added on, but still, you get what I mean. Like, I had no problem buying that, and I didn't regret my purchase with that. I still don't think that game is really worth $80, but, you know, I don't regret my purchase. I barely, you know, I mean barely got my money's worth out of it. So, yeah. But when it comes to Crimson Desert, I'm like, you know what? This game is, from what I hear, is going to take like over 90 hours to beat. And that's if you just like kind of like blaze through it and only focus on the main missions and not the side stuff. And since I am more of a completionist, well, then I'll definitely get my money's worth. I guarantee you I'll probably wind up putting well over 200 hours into that game. Maybe even more. So, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm going to get games like that. And I might go ahead and get me one of the other cheap ones I've been wanting to get, like Atlas Fallen or Mind's Eye or something like that. And then throughout the months beyond that, it'll be games like Expedition 33, Atomfall, which is like a post-apocalyptic game, kind of like similar to Fallout New Vegas, you know. You know, that Pragmata game that looks really good, made by Capcom. So, yeah, and not to mention there's the whole new Yoshi game that's coming to the Switch 2 in May. Or there's also, you know, the Indiana Jones game that's coming to the Switch 2. So, and since it's going to cost an arm and a leg to finally get that game for the Xbox One, like I'm talking about like over $100. Because evidently they didn't print off enough copies for the Xbox Series X version. So, yeah. So the only way I'm going to be able to enjoy that game is if I get it for the Nintendo Switch, which is still a decent amount of money, you know, like for real, like paying around like the full $70 for a Switch 2 game is a bit much, but I mean, I've already done it a few times already, so it's whatever. So, yeah. But it is what it is. But yeah, there's that. Oh, there's also the Oblivion Elder Scrolls remaster I keep, you know, forgetting about. Well, I guess it's more of a remake, but still, it's kind of like a mixture of remake and remaster, because evidently, even though the graphics are like remake quality, and I guess it has a lot of extra content, from what I hear, it still has all the same glitches that the PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 version of it has. So that's why I said it's in between a remake and a remaster. But yeah, Either way, though, by the time I get around to getting WWE 2K26, if I get it, that game's going to wind up being cheap and used around $20. So yeah. But I don't have no more time to talk about anything. So, yeah. Y'all take care. God bless and peace.